Hello and welcome to my first ever vlog. I am absolutely bricking it. I am so nervous doing this. I don't even know to the point why I am doing it, but I just thought, feck it, go for it and see what's to come from it. I don't know. I actually have the video thing up so I can see myself, but then I'm like, should I be looking at that or should I be looking at the camera? What should I be looking at? And it's kind of off-putting. Yeah, it's off-putting for me. So I think I'm gonna flap it down and then look just at this, and hopefully I'm in focus and I look okay. And you can hear me. I don't have anything fancy. I don't have like a mic. I don't have any of those ring light things. I'm literally in my bedroom on my bed, which is my most comfiest place, the most place that I feel comfortable in. And you will only see kind of this side of me because my room is also my office, which is also my storage facility for my business. So I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I would rather you not see that part of my life yet. But first of all, what was I going to say? Oh god, I'm so nervous, I don't even know what to talk about. Oh yeah, rambling on. So every year, at the end of every year, I do a mood board, like a vision board for the future year coming, and I talk about stuff that I'd like to achieve, the following year, stuff that I think I can do to better myself, better my future. Some of the challenges that I set are realistic and reasonable and can be attained pretty quickly, or are an ongoing sort of challenge. There's some challenges that I've already completed, and then there's also some challenges that are so far-fetched that are highly unlikely ever going to happen. But I feel like it's always good to set yourself just different things basically in life. So right in the corner, I don't know why, I don't know whether I'd had too many drinks and had gotten real brave on New Year's Eve when we were doing the vision boards. I basically put in the corner to vlog and blog. Now I already blog kind of maybe a few times a year as a fun outlet whenever I get time, but I did write down vlog, and underneath it I wrote to document. By documenting I mean documenting part of my life. Now I don't lead a very exciting life. I teach performing arts 6-7 days a week. I don't really go out. I'm a bit of a hermit. I don't have a huge social circle of friends. I am pretty much a bit of a dry shite basically. And I was like, well, maybe I'm not going to really be interesting in a vlog. But my fiance Ev actually has a YouTube channel and has had a YouTube channel for the last while. I'll link it below. That's kind of weird to say that. I'll link it below. Yeah, I'll link it below. And I love watching vlogs. I love watching people's YouTube videos. There's some amazing subscribers. There's some amazing videos, channels that I have subscribed to. This is what I do when I ramble. I can't speak properly and I get really, really nervous when this is me being nervous basically. That sentence didn't even make sense. I just rambled it all into one. I have no idea how to edit videos. I have no idea if the sound is good, but I'm gonna give it a shot of vlogging. Now I was humming and hawing about how I would start off my first ever vlog, and January and February weren't such great months for me mentally, personally, because I had a lot going on my plate. And then I kind of said, if I am going to vlog, I want to start it off on something really, really positive. And by positive, I mean something that I can channel the vlog towards, to have like a goal, a project, and that way then that vlog can be the focus on that, and I don't need to be so stressed about what to talk about. Even though I'm stressing about this first vlog, even though I know what I'm going to talk about. Ha! But basically, I got mortgage approval, which is a huge deal to me, but now I'm thinking about it, might not be a huge deal to everybody else, because it's quite a normal thing to do. Everyone will get it at some point in their life, but for me it has been the biggest stress the last 2 years. It's taken me over 21 months of working towards this. I've also had 2 mortgage refusals. My story isn't the same as everybody else that would maybe go for mortgage approval. I am a sole mortgage applicant, and I know people are going to go, you have a fiance. I do, I have a fiance, but our story is a little bit different from everybody else's. As with everybody else, everyone's story is different. Basically, my fiance has cystic fibrosis. I'll actually link his YouTube page because he does lots and lots of videos on his journey with having CF, and he kind of keeps quite a positive outlook on life through his channel, and it's really, really fascinating. Well, I find it fascinating, obviously. I'm not biased or anything. Well, I am biased. Am I biased? Yeah, I am biased. And that actually has affected us in our life, way of life. Basically, Evan it would be very difficult for Evan to get mortgage approval. He wouldn't be able to get life insurance, which is one of the requirements eventually when you sign your papers. So we just thought, leave him off. Don't put him into the application. Like, leave it the way it is, and just go for it myself. And I thought, oh, it's fine. I work really, really hard. This was 2 years ago. I work really, really hard. I have my own business, and it's been growing and getting bigger as the time has gone by. But about 2 years ago, I went for my first application. I thought, well, I've done pretty well so far. I'm saving, I earn good money. I'm not a huge wage, but I'm not on a low wage either. But what I didn't realise is that if you are self-employed, which is what I am, it's a lot more difficult than a PAYE person. So I faced some hiccups in my first application. First hiccup I faced was that you don't get to borrow on the basis of 12 months of your salary, 3.5 times of your 12 months of your salary. When you're self-employed, they actually use the average of your last 3 years of income. So 2 years ago, when I was applying for it, they had to use my last 3 years on that. I had literally just opened up my business in that first year, so my income was little or nothing. So already I was refused purely because the average was so low that even if they did give me money, I pretty much would have been able to buy nothing. Like I wouldn't have been given enough money to be able to buy anything. So we left it for a few months. I continued to save, and I took on extra work. Applied it again, and they said no again. So really, really disheartening. I actually really struggled with the no. I don't do well with rejection. I don't do well with failure. It's a big problem for me when I fail at things in life. They really consume me, and I don't know. I feel like I'd hit a major roadblock because I'd worked so hard in building my business up, which is it's a performing arts business, and I worked so hard. I'd taken on lots of extra jobs for this business to work, and then to be told, hey, it's actually not good enough. You're not working hard enough. That's the way I took it at that time. Obviously that's not true. I work really hard, and I'm aware of how hard I work, but it was basically a no again. So 2 refusals, and I kind of hit a roadblock. And then we got engaged in the end of 2016, and thought we would go out to rent, but because we were going to be going through just one application, just me going for a mortgage myself, I couldn't afford to rent. So we have spent the first 1.5 years being engaged, not actually living with each other. So it's not ideal, it's not normal to a lot of people, and it definitely wasn't normal to me in the first part of my journey being engaged. But I took it on the chin, and I did what I had to do, and I live with my parents in the attic room. Now, I'm not complaining, I'm very, very grateful. It's a lovely big room, but my business has gotten bigger, and so my bedroom is my office space slash my storage unit as well at the same time. And I am 29 years old, and I have definitely outgrown this space, and so I went and got the advice of a mortgage broker, and he sat me down and he told me what to do. And I spent the whole of 2017 literally being like a demon, essentially, so focused on the number one thing, which in my head was getting mortgage approval. And I worked, didn't go out, didn't do nothing. I've sacrificed so much. Haven't gone to people's birthday parties. I've said no to so many invitations. I've like literally worn the same clothes over and over again. I had saved so much to have a strong deposit, because I can only borrow 3.5 times my average 3 years income, which isn't a huge amount when you work out the average. So I took on a huge amount of work in 2017, even more than I had been. Worked sometimes 6-7 days a week, teaching, just to pull in the money to kind of boost up my revenue, essentially. And then the broker said at the end of 2017, have everything filed, ready to go, and we will send off your application in January. So I obviously forgot totally about vlogging. It just wasn't a priority, and January and February kind of just went by like a flash, because I was putting all my papers in, and there's a little bit of extra work to do when you're self-employed as opposed to a PAYE worker, in that there's a huge amount of scrutiny over your accounts. Like, my broker even came back to me one day in February and went, he wrote to me an email, he was like, Yaz, what's the story with your spending? Like, you haven't really got any activity on your account, your debit card. And I was like, yes, because I haven't done anything for the whole of 2017, which I haven't. Like, I obviously was away, and when my friends got married, and I was over in Morocco to see my grandparents, my granny. I don't have grandparents, my granny, and I was away in London as well. So I wasn't a complete hermit, but for me, I was a hermit to what I would normally do with my life. I like to live life out full. I love to go to lots of places, visit new cities, go out to lovely restaurants. I really like doing cultured things, and I sacrificed that for the last 18 months, as you do, as everyone has to do. Anyway, I put the application in. Oh, message. Anyway, I put the application in at the end of January, and waited. They came back. They were asking for more papers, which is the norm. And I started to build myself up in my head. I don't know how my family lived with me. I don't know how my fiance coped with me. I was literally like a demon, probably to live with. Really, I don't know. I do feel like January and February has gone like in a snap, because I was so consumed with, is it a yes? Is it going to be a no? And even if it was a no refusal, I know people say, oh, if you have three refusals, you can go to the council and they can help you out. The issue being is that I am self-employed. I actually earn too high of an amount to be regarded by the council for help. That's Help to Buy, that sort of thing. But last year I earned too little for the underwriter to give me mortgage approval. So, long story short, 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago, I got my first yes. I'm trying to recap that day. I think I was in teaching, I was in primary school, and I kind of had been, the last week before that, I'd kind of constantly been refreshing my emails throughout the day, waiting for an email to come in. And somebody I was dealing with in the broker office emailed me and said, oh, you've got approval in principle. And I was like, oh, great, approval in principle doesn't really mean anything. So I just said, I'll give him a buzz to find out what that meant. And I rang him, and he goes, no, you have it, you have mortgage approval. And I was like, okay, Like, come on now, be honest. And he goes, no, you haven't. And I freaked out. I mean, I wasn't in class, all the kids were out. I was in primary school, all the kids were outside playing, but I was in the room that I teach dancing. Well, I started crying, sobbing on the phone, and bless the man, didn't know what to do with me. He was like, Yaz, are you okay? Are you okay? I was like, I can't believe it. I mean, I was sobbing uncontrollably, just sobbing my eyes out. And he said, you're good to go now, you can go start looking for a house. Now, prior to that, we had already been kind of looking at a few houses to kind of know what's in the market. I mean, I could tell you daft website off by heart. I know everything, I know the price of everything, I know locations of everywhere, I know every estate, the houses that have pyrite, I just know it all. Because again, this has consumed me literally the last 2 years. So I wanted to kind of start looking at houses to kind of know what I'm looking for and what would be in my budget should I have gotten mortgage approval. And then now, because I have got mortgage approval, we have started the journey of looking for a house. It's not our forever home, it's not our dream home. We don't have a huge budget to play with, very, very small, again, because it's just me buying by myself. But it's going to be our first home, and that is what I'm so excited about. A home that I know I have worked my arse off, really, for the last few years to get. And I thought it would be a really good idea to base my vlogs around this. So I'm hoping I can take you on the journey. I won't be taking you into the houses, I don't think, because I think, is that a bit too private? I don't really know, like, how much do you share with a camera? I don't even know if anyone's going to watch these vlogs. Will it be one person, like my friend, or will it be like nobody? I have no idea. But I said if I document it and get as much footage, record as much footage, become comfortable in front of the camera, maybe teach myself how to speak properly in front of the camera, present myself well in front of the camera. I don't really make an effort really with the way I look, and maybe having a camera might make me do this because I'm a lot more conscious then. This is just, I'm definitely out of my comfort zone here. This is definitely a really big challenge for me. So yeah, I thought vlog the experience and document it so that we have it. And then there's going to be trials and tribulations with this whole experience. You know, there's houses that we've seen that we really like and we've started bidding on, and I know I'm going to fall in love with a house and then it might even fall through. We might go to sell agreed and it might even fall through. We might be outbidded on a house. God knows, there's going to be so many things that we're going to face, but to document it, to have it there, so it's something that we can look back in a few years and have a giggle about. So yeah, I hope you will enjoy this journey that you're going to follow on. I don't know how I feel about bringing a camera out and vlogging out in the public. I'm in my bedroom, so while I'm out of my comfort zone, this is my comfort zone. I don't know how I feel about having a camera and walking around. Ev does it all the time, and I'm kind of used to ish, but I tend to do things like this. Like, I'm always touch my face in front of his vlogs. Like, I'm doing this with my ear, which means I'm nervous. I don't know how I feel about vlogging it outside, bringing it with me, but I'm gonna try. And yeah, and just go from there, see how we get on. I have no idea what the sound's like. It might be muffled. I don't have a microphone. Do I need to buy a microphone? I don't know. Do I just vlog just this experience? Do I vlog like a haul on stuff that I might have bought? Because I haven't bought anything for like months on end. Like, I haven't bought clothes. I have like, there's holes in my jeans still. And when I got mortgage approval, I did well, not the day off, but like a week to, was it last week? Oh yeah, last week. So I should be due the package actually soon. I did a little Topshop order and an order on Cult Beauty, and I hadn't treated myself to anything in ages, so those deliveries actually should be coming this week. Like, do I document that? Do I film myself doing a haul and an unboxing? I don't know. Oh, I'm excited, nervous, all in one. And yeah, I just want to see how we get on with this little journey, this little challenge I've set myself, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it for the year, give it a good go. And it's not for subscribers, it's not to see how many views I can get, but it's for me to feel like I've done a project, started a project, done it, completed it, finished it, and been happy with it. That's why I am doing this, because I like to challenge myself in life. So I'm going to wrap it up here with me talking to you now, but I hope the next bit of footage that you'll see will be me maybe on my way to maybe a house viewing. We've got two this week. So yeah, I think I might like to bring you on that. I don't know. Do I bring you downstairs with my family? Like, my family are mad, so I don't really know if I want to do that. Do I bring you out on a coffee date that I might have with my friend, or what I do with Ev? Don't know. I genuinely don't know what I want to do, what areas I want to go with this vlogging project. But I'm going to have a go, and I hope you enjoy it. So welcome to my channel.